Paris Hair and Beauty Supply. Back in the broadcast, this is Stan Matthews with Darrell Watts. And we are going into the second segment here. Just want to thank everyone out there who didn't know that Donald Trump is great for the country. I want to represent that fully. Donald Trump is great for the country from the perspective of business and for black folk clarity. If you didn't know, now you know.
And that's the truth.
If you're not clear, now you're clear of where many in this country stand in terms of you. So understand this, Mr. Trump and those with you. We were the first people to shed blood to make this country free. One Crispus Attucks was the first person that lost his life in the Revolutionary War. We have died on every battlefield for America. We have been the sole force and the consciousness of America. We're not going anywhere. We own this just like you own this. And we are not waiting for you to concede that to us. We affirm that as men and women in this country. This place, America, is as much ours as it is yours. And so when we talk about making America great, understand this. We make our own claims, whether you like it or not, right? So we're very clear that we have no concerns about where you stand. Be clear about where we stand. That's right. As James Brown said, I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees. That's right. That's not our thing, right? Our thing is alignment divine, upliftment divine, empowerment divine, and enrichment divine. We are the first people on this earth. We are the mothers and fathers of civilization. When you address us, sir, you should address us as mom and dad, because that's who we are to you. All right? So I think it's very clear where we stand.
I like that.
And we do so with confidence.
Like
all right.
That.
We have a Superman and a Superwoman on with us tonight because they have, with their own capital, with their own dollars, created a mechanism and an engine for wealth in Old Trenton. And we want to celebrate that fact first, and we want to get to know them better. I bring to you tonight Drew and Donna Paris of Paris Hair and Beauty Supply. They only sell natural products. That's a real thing. There are now events all over the country where natural black hair is being celebrated. There was one this summer in Brooklyn. I think it's called the, I forget the name of the event. It was in the New York Times even, the celebration of natural hairstyles and how big this industry is. We want you to pay very close attention because you spend money with people from Korea, you spend money with people from India, you spend money with people from Japan. This is a sister and brother who have an online business that you can do the same thing with. There is no excuse now. We want to make you aware so you can't say, well, I didn't know about them. You know, they from over there and I haven't heard. No, as of tonight, you don't have that excuse. Right. So I'm going to turn it over to Darrell Watts to ask Donna and Drew a few questions about how they can support, how you can support them and build Paris Hair and Beauty Supply to the level it should be.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Happy to have you on.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, what's the name of your business?
Our business is Paris Hair and Beauty Supplies. And we are a black-owned beauty supply store, actually probably the only black-owned beauty supply store right now in the Mercer County area. So that is pretty special for us.
I like that.
It's pretty special for Mercer County and for the whole state of New Jersey.
Empowering, I like that.
That's right.
I like that. Okay, what's the unique value of your business?
Well, I'd like to add to what my phenomenal wife
There you go.
just shared.
I like
Phenomenal
that. I like
woman,
that.
phenomenally.
Without
That's
question.
right.
Drew said, I'm going to get some points
That's
early in
right.
the game.
I like
I'm going
that.
to get some points now.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, Drew, call me later on and tell me how later on works out for you.
No question.
I love it. I love it.
I just want to know that you went to bed happy tonight.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I love it.
And he shall.
Oh! Ding, ding, ding!
Honey,
Cornelius,
you are
you just rang the
phenomenal.
bell.
All right.
I'm using that.
That's right. Donna just rang the bell. She said, "I'm gonna just hit it right
You're
there."
phenomenal, Kim. You're phenomenal.
Right.
Brownie points right there.
That's
Definitely,
right. That's
definitely.
right.
Yes, you were saying.
Well, my wife shared something that we are unique to the Mercer County area. And I'd like to add to that. I say, to our shame of all the Africans that are in America, I believe that we may be the only Black-owned beauty supply that highlights entrepreneurs that are African,
That's right.
that makes natural products for our skin and hair.
That's right.
So actually, we're a unicorn.
Mm.
All right,
Yeah.
not only in Mercer, but I like to say I'm possibly, unfortunately, hopefully not, throughout the entire United States.
Right.
We
Because what
applaud
we
that.
do is we seek out Africans throughout the world. We have products in our store from Nigeria, South Africa, Canada, the Caribbean, from all over the world. These brothers and sisters specialize in making natural products for your skin and hair.
I like that.
When
That
our
is
customers come into the store, what we do is we hand them literature based on the toxins that are in their soaps, in their shampoos. These shampoos are causing fibroids. These shampoos are causing cancer. These shampoos are causing aneurysms. We hand our brothers and sisters this literature to educate them the importance of going natural. Some sisters and brothers are going natural with their hair, but we're educating brothers and sisters not to only go natural with just your hair, but in your deodorant, unless you're not concerned about getting breast cancer. If you're concerned about getting breast cancer, you're going to change the deodorant that you're using because of the aluminum in it. The soaps that they have bleaching agents in it. They have cancer-causing agents in it. These soaps weren't made to for our skin. That's why we complain every day. We use these soaps, but we complain that our skin is dry. That's because that soap that was designed wasn't designed for the African skin. It was designed for the skin that needs the oils washed off it, that needs the oils washed out of their hair. That soap and shampoo is not made for the Africans that are existing in these Americas.
And I really
Heavy.
want to say this. I want to add to what my
Heavy,
husband
heavy.
is saying, because it's very heavy. And I'm sure everybody has heard the show about What the Health, and it talks about the foods that we eat, the foods that people are ingesting, and what it's doing as far as meat and so forth. And more people are going vegan. It's the same thing pertains to the hair.
Yes.
It's no different.
No
the
different.
same chemicals they're injecting in animals, and they're injecting in a number of
In
products.
cars.
Right. I mean, a number of products that we actually are out there on the market, labeled with us, put our faces on there to make it look beautiful. What we do is we teach these people, now listen, if you don't have a dictionary in front of you and you can't look up these ingredients, 9 out of 10 times it's not for you. You shouldn't even put it in your hair, because just like What the Health, it's like, what the hell are you putting in your skin and body?
Correct.
The same thing. These same companies that make a ton of money from food is the same companies that make some of these other products. They're
Correct.
all in cohorts. Food and drug administration don't need to go together, but for some apparent reason they're in the same sentence. So that ought to tell you that not only is our food contaminated, but so is the products that we're using for the sake of big dollars. And as a Wall Street person, you know I look at the Bloomberg and I watch the stocks of some of these pharmaceuticals as well as these products that are on the market, and they're on the rise off of our people, unfortunately.
Yes.
You know, I love these two.
Yeah.
Thank
They
you,
are
brother.
so powerful. You
Thank
hear
you,
me?
brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This room is on fire tonight. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
That's
Knowledge.
That's right. This is what we were talking about earlier. That freedom means a liberated mind.
Absolutely.
But see, the Bible says, "How shall they know lest they have a teacher?"
That's right. Knowledge
Right.
is power.
So the knowledge is power, especially in this generation. If you look at the companies, the 5 most valuable companies right now in the world, and I know Donna knows this. 20 years ago, the 5 largest capitalized companies in the world included General Electric.
Yeah.
They included IBM.
Yeah.
They included Ford Motor Company. They included General Motors. Now, the top 5 highest capitalized companies in the world are now information based.
Absolutely.
Right? So you have Apple,
Yep.
You have Amazon.
Google.
You have Google.
Yep.
So the knowledge is increasingly the currency of the future, right? And so we have got to get this information
That's
out
right.
so that we can help our people to become more
Totally.
educated and then make better informed decisions.
Absolutely.
Tell me how you guys find the suppliers that make the natural products, because again, from a perspective of awareness, we often think that these things don't exist.
Exactly.
So how does Paris Hair and Beauty Supply find the supplier?
Well, Paris Hair Beauty Supply strategically goes out and search for people. Now, keep in mind of our backgrounds. I'm a woman who grew up in a Rastafarian household. My husband's Native American. We are by far a strong team when it comes to that. Very cultural, we're very cultural minded. And when I was growing up, as well as my husband, if you ever go into a market, a flea market, you see individuals selling natural products. They wake up every day like you and I to go to our jobs, and yet they still make a product for us, particularly those that look like us. And so because I've always been around folks like that, and I used to have a lot of events in Brooklyn, it made sense that when we opened this store, that we would bring these same vendors who had natural products around an entire room to come into our store.
Awesome.
But we take it one step further now. What we do is we actually go out and search for them. So for instance, I'll go into Etsy. And I'm strategic in going into Etsy because I just don't go into Etsy and just look up a name. Oh no, I look at the picture to make sure they're African American because that's extremely important. And then what I do is I vet them. I have a very good strategic way of vetting individuals to make sure that their products are exactly what we're looking for. And my husband said something that was very interesting to a customer. We don't just bring black products in. We bring your product in because it's doing something for someone's skin and hair. For instance, we got a problem. We have problems in our community. Eczema is an issue. Psoriasis is an issue. And these people are going to these doctors with the white coats and trusting that they're going to get stuck with steroids and the whole 9 yards, that it's going to get better. When in fact, what's growing out of the ground that God has provided is what actually can heal you.
That's right.
The problem is people don't know that. And so that's what we've been doing. We've been actually giving the literature, like my husband said, to individuals to say, hey, look, we're not going to push this on you, but it's very good. If you can Google and find those pair of shoes, and you can Google for sneakers and all the other things, Stan, you was talking about earlier, clearly you can find out what can actually help save your hair and skin.
Well, let me bring the audience in here. Our wellness coach is Dr. Elise Bourne Busby. Just text me, who is that couple? Have to meet them, right? She is a 2-time cancer survivor and one of the most foremost wellness coaches in America. This is an on-fire lady in her 70s.
Wow.
That is just about wellness. She is saying, Drew, that we will change when we look at healthy living and wellness as a lifestyle, not as a fad, as a lifestyle.
Totally.
The other person that just texted and said that Donna is on fire, FIYAH, is Miss Samud Scott, our health and wellness coach out of Trenton as well. And she said Donna is on fire. So I think the information and the knowledge that you guys are bringing is changing minds and changing behaviors. And so as a result of that, we want to make sure that we support you in any way that we can support you on this platform and also within our network. So Darryl, you have a few others for?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm like a sponge
FYI.
taking it in because there's so much knowledge. I love it.
It's a lot.
I
It is a
love
lot.
it. I love it. It's a lot of things that we don't know.
Yes.
I'm realizing that right now.
And that's the greatest danger,
That's right.
because only in the
knowledge.
presence of ignorance can certain things go on.
Totally.
I love it.
Totally.
I love it. I was going to ask who's a great referral, but
Oh.
me.
Any black person with
Yes.
skin or hair.
Yes.
Right, absolutely.
Do you have skin?
And that's everyone. Even if the male is bald,
Mhm.
there is still a skin issue going on. And my husband does very well at selling to the brothers who do walk in. And we're getting more and more brothers coming in for natural products, and that's a good thing.
You are so needed.
Yeah.
You are so needed. And they are so humble.
Well, the Africans have a proverb that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So, our ancestors are on the other side, in my opinion, in the spirit world, and very much still part of this. All that is happening on this earthly plane, You know, as my favorite movie, The Lion King, said, there's a circle of life.
Yes, there is.
I do not believe in death as a concept. You either are alive spiritually or you're alive physically or both. We are spiritual beings having an earthly experience.
Absolutely.
You know, my friends know I often say, I'm not from here. I'm on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back home, right? But this is not my home. I'm just having a little vacation here. But I want to ask you a question as we go out this evening, Drew. 5 years from today, what does Paris Hair and Beauty Supply, what do you see? How many states are you operating in? How many people are you employing? How many consumers are you serving? What do you see? What is your vision?
You said you made an interesting comment, and it's something that I can honestly say the reason why we're here is because Christ opened up doors for us, and a lot of brothers and sisters in our community, they get caught up between the church in Nicaea or things in nature, the European influence in regards to Christ in our lives. And I just want to share with them, brothers and sisters, to not get caught up with what the Europeans have traditionally disrupted in our lives. But I'm talking about the Christ that goes back to Ethiopia, the Christ that goes back to Africa. That is the one that's given me power and direction.
Amen.
And that's opened up the doors to us.
Yes.
So the spiritual aspect of what you were saying, that's the only reason why we're here, is because the Christ that's come out of Africa, that is the one that has blessed us to be able to be put in a position now, to answer your question, in another 5 years to open up Black-owned beauty supply shops. We have sisters, it hasn't been any brothers, but sisters come to us to ask us, how can I open up a Black-owned beauty supply shop? I call around, no other beauty supply shops respond to me. How can we do that? So what we do is we bring them into our store, and we hold a class, and we help brothers and sisters understand how they can open up a beauty supply shop. We provide them with our resources, our connections, the ins and outs, whether you should buy a building, whether you should rent a building. The class is entire nuts and bolts on how to open up a Black-owned beauty supply shop. We provide all of our resources, and we only provide that class for $300. Okay, so that's one aspect of to answer your question. Where do we see ourselves in the next 5 years? Is just educating more Black entrepreneurs to be economically empowered.
Yes.
There's a lot of times what we'll do is our Black entrepreneurs, they don't know how to price their products.
That's right.
They're accustomed to vending. They know how to price through vending, but they don't know how to price their products to a wholesaler. So what we do is, actually, we've been giving that information out for free as far as how you need to price your product from A to Z. How do you go about it? So basically, in the next 5 years, we have a movement. It's called Operation Take Our Hair Back. And there are many facets to that movement, to that revolution. But the one that I'm going to speak on now is basically to economically empower the African American community and emphasize and create the circle of money, because in our community, the dollar doesn't rebound not one time.
That's right.
In other communities, the dollar rebounds anywhere between 12 to 18 times.
That's right.
So my wife, our job is through economically empowering the African American community, is number one, teaching us how to spend our money inside of our circle. But we have to empower we have to empower our entrepreneurs and able to be able to do that. So that's one of our many goals.
Well, I thank you for that most worthy vision.
Absolutely.
As we go out this evening on the Matthews broadcast, I would remind all of us that we can never finish anything great until we start something fabulous.
That's right.
So you all have started something. It's a movement. It's not a moment.
That's right.
That's right.
Big difference. And I think it's a movement of power. How do people get in contact, Donna?
All right. You can reach us you can actually get in touch with us through our website, which is www.parishairandbeautysupply.com. matthewsnovbeautysupplies.com. You can always give us a call as well in our store at 609-218-5883 for any questions, trainings, or anything of that nature.
And also for the sisters that are interested in purchasing weaves, we also do sell weaves. We have the best prices in town. We guarantee we can beat Alibaba's prices with high quality grade Brazilian hair.
That's right. What you mean that's not my hair? I bought it. I got it.
Yes.
I love it. I love
Thank you
it.
so much for being
Thank
with
you for
us.
having us.
Remember, there are two types of people on this earth. Dreamers like you and all those in the waiting area like you, Drew, and dream killers.
Right.
Embrace the first
Yes.
and run like heck from the second. This is Stan Matthews with my friend Darrell Watts, my image Dr. Cornelius Hill, Lindsay the Voice Tynes, Donna, and Drew Paris.
Thank you.
These are trailblazers indeed.
Thank you.
Listen out for the Paris Hair and Beauty
That's
Supply.
right.
Good night. God bless.
Good night.